Hello, and welcome back. I hope you're as eager as I am to continue this journey together. My hope is that in the last video, you were able to uncover some truths about your life. I hope you were able to lay down a solid foundation. If you saw and can remember the name of this video, discovering who you are and who you are not, you might have already subconsciously thought about it. Who are you and who are you not? To discover who you really are, you must first learn who and what you are not. If I were to ask you, who are you? What would you say? How would you describe yourself to me? How would you identify yourself? What is your life story? What is your life about? Who are you? If you have 2 minutes, take the time now to pause this video and write down what you might say if I were to ask you, who are you? When you're done, press play and we can continue. So, assuming that you did the exercise, if we were to meet, what would you have said to me? Who are you? Let's use me for an example and see if our stories kind of relate. So right now, just pretend we're meeting and we're talking face to face. Hi, my name is Shelby Donor. I'm a nurse, fitness nutrition specialist, grief coach, and nonprofit founder. I grew up in a farm in Colorado when I was younger. I have 3 siblings. I enjoy traveling, watching movies, going camping, and to the beach. I'm probably 5'8" and weigh 150 pounds. I have brown hair, blue eyes. My skin is tan, and I wear a size 10 in shoe size. I also enjoy exercise, meditation, being with God, my husband, and I just love helping others. Should I go on? Our stories probably don't match exactly, but do they follow a similar pattern? Does your answer maybe describe what your body looks like, your name, what you do, and what you love? Maybe you included where you were born and something about your family, maybe your favorite food. Seems pretty reasonable, right? However, I do have one question for you. If I were to ask you something on an even deeper level, out of everything that I just said describing who I was, is something wrong, missing, or different from the truth? I'll give you a little hint as to where I'm going with this by asking you another question. Who is this I am? Who is this I am this, I am that, I love this, I have this? Who is this I? Who is this I am? Many of you probably have answered by saying, well, it's me, it's Shelby. But who is this me? Who is this person? Who is this I am? Take a deep breath and remain open for me. Allow your thoughts and emotions to just flow. We're just talking about this. There's no right or wrong. So, going back to when I said I am 5'8". I'm 5'8". Here I'm describing my height, right? Many of you probably said right. Well, the answer to this question is yes and no. What if I told you I was describing my body's height? Do you see the difference in this statement? I am 5'8" versus my body's height is 5'8". This leads me to ask you, are you your body? Are you a physical being having a spiritual experience, or are you a spiritual being having a physical experience? Hear it again. Are you a physical being having a spiritual experience, or are you a spiritual being having a physical experience? If you said spiritual being having a physical experience, or you said a physical being having a spiritual experience, I would say you are both correct. I have come to the realization, and this truth does not have to be yours by no means, but I feel the answer to this is not one or the other. They each are a part of us and make us whole while we're here on earth. We need both the spiritual and the physical experience, because without it, we have no life experience in the here and right now. You use the body as the body uses you. We all have a body, and we all have a soul. So, are you your body? Is the one, you, who moves and uses the body? Or are you the mover of the body? Take a moment to really think about this. Are you your body? Let's pretend I take you to go get surgery. Theoretically, let's say you got frostbite and need 2 of your toes amputated. What's weird is you're able to stay awake during this procedure. And don't worry, of course, they'll give you medicine where you don't feel anything. You're just allowed to stay awake. And if you've ever had surgery, maybe you've seen blue drapes hanging down from where they're operating. Let's say the drape's hanging from your chest. And luckily, guess what? I'm there to talk to you the whole time while the doctor and the medical crew take care of you. So there we are, you're laying down, the doctor and the crew is there, and I'm right by your head. The surgery is going well, we're talking, and the doctor has just completed the first amputation. He amputated your right pinky toe. Freeze. Are you your pinky toe? Did you change during the surgery, or are you still the exact same person, even after the removal of your pinky toe? Did your personality change? Do you still have the same likes and dislikes? Anyways, the surgery continues, and the doctor removes your second toe. You now only have 3 toes on your right foot. Again, freeze. Are you still the same person, or did you change? Am I talking to the same person, or are you different because your toes are gone? Many of you probably are thinking, well, yeah, I am the same. Well, who is this I am? How are you still the same person with the same likes, dislikes, and personality if 2 of your toes are missing? Would you agree now then that your pinky toe is part of the body? Are you still you even with your toes gone? Let's go a step further. What if the surgery continued and they removed both of your arms and legs? Are you still the same you even without your arms and legs? Can you see by this example, you, the I am, are not your body. There is something else, something more, a deeper meaning to this I am. Your body is a part of you, the I am, the one who goes by your name, uses the body to experience life. You are the mover of your body. Sometimes Sometimes in life, the I am inside us all loses control and the body begins to control us. We say things like, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm not good enough, I'm weak. That is not who the I am really is. What most people are actually describing is their bodies. My body is fat. My body is ugly. My body is sensitive to certain foods. My body is tired and weak. What we say out loud and identify with can make our lives here on earth a living hell or a living heaven, especially while we're going through our grief. It is so important we maintain control over our body, and we're good to it by taking care of it. It's also so important to take a moment to truly understand our relationship with our bodies. Let me remind you, our bodies do so much for us. They are the homes of our souls. That is their purpose. They have cells and organs in them that function without us even having to lift a finger. How beautiful is that? I can't imagine doing that all on my own. No healthy body means no healthy life. It is our responsibility as the I ams to nurture and take care of our bodies. We must learn to control it and give it what it needs, not what it wants. We must exercise it, discipline it, let it sleep, and feed it appropriately. Just like any house, it needs a solid foundation and continued upkeep. Now, adding to this, I have a second question for you. Are you your thoughts? Before you even think about saying yes, I'm going to stop you right there and say no. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who thinks the thoughts. You are the one who hears and sees the thoughts. You are the one who hears the voices and sees the images in your mind. You are not the voices in your mind or the images that you see. The voices you hear and the images you see are things produced by your mind. Many times, they're based off of old or your current experiences. You're not only the one who sees and hears the thoughts, but you're the one that can create the thoughts at any given moment. You are the creator that uses the mind to make thoughts. How do we create thoughts anyways? And while we're at it, I have a funny question to ask you. I know by now you've probably learned I'm kind of random, but do you dream sometimes when you're sleeping? If you answered yes, well, how do you know that you dream? You were sleeping, I thought. That's really interesting to think about, isn't it? How do you know you dreamed when in reality you were sleeping? Who was awake watching you dream if you were the one sleeping? Who is the one that knew you were dreaming? Someone had to be awake, right? Something to think about, that's it. So to help make the basis of what we're talking about, let's make this make a little more sense by talking about our 2 million-year-old brain. And keep pondering the dreaming thing. It'll come to you. So back to our minds. Back to thinking. What is the purpose of our brains? What is the purpose of our brains? Previously discussed, the brain is part of our body, right? So wouldn't you say it's doing its own thing sometimes? Well, most of the time. It's regulating and monitoring a lot of our body's functions, helping us breathe and making sure our heart is beating efficiently, right? Are you the one consciously regulating the blood flow to it and inside of it? Or are you the one giving it oxygen to function? How is it doing all this? Are you doing it? I hope you said no. The brain runs and maintains on its own schedule. And sometimes, even regardless of what we have to say, it fights back. The only thing on its mind is survival. I feel like it always has something to talk about. I don't know about you, but have you ever had an argument with yourself about something in your head? You see this so much at the grocery store, and you might be guilty of it, just like I have been so many times. Should I get the hot or the mild salsa? I'll get the mild. No, wait. I'll get the hot. Mild doesn't hurt my stomach, but holy cow, that spice in the hot salsa, oh, it's worth the pain. Oh crap, I forgot my doctor told me. Take it easy on the spice, it's bad for your stomach. Hot or mild, maybe just this one time. You stand there frozen, having a silent conversation with yourself in aisle 3. People are moving, trying to get past you, and you're just standing there having a conversation, right? You're holding those salsas deep in your hands, looking back and forth. Which one? Which one? And then you hear over the intercom, confused shopper in aisle 3. Just kidding. Here's another good example. You're talking with a stranger while waiting in the checkout line at a clothing store. While you're standing there, you're politely listening to what the other person has to say. And then, all of a sudden, you hear this voice. Oh my gosh. Do you see that big yellow booger hanging out of their nose? Oh my God, they're so dirty. How embarrassing. Why doesn't anyone tell them? Should I tell them? No, yes, no, yes, no. It's better that way. I won't see them again. And then all of a sudden, you're back to listening to that conversation and hearing what the other person has to say. What the heck? What just happened? What about this? What about that? It's talking, but you're trying to listen. Who was this voice that all of a sudden interrupted your conversation? Where did they come from? And who is it? What the heck? Did you hear that? Who was that judgmental person? Was it you? The answer is no. It was your brain jibber-jabbering. It was your brain jibber-jabbering. You were the one listening to the stranger. And you were the one hearing the voices from your mind. You did not purposely think those things, right? They, by themselves, just naturally came up. Right? Sometimes we're guilty of it. But sometimes they come up and we're not even letting them come up. They just come up on their own. The key to this thing we call a happy, fulfilling life is learning how to master our mind. You can't shut it up, but you can teach it who's boss. It comes down to knowing the difference between who is talking, you or the mind. It's about learning how to use your mind to your benefit. It's about using it to empower yourself, not disempower yourself. It's about using it to expose the truth. Sometimes we become addicted to thoughts that make us sick. Do you ever have a thought you wish you never had, or a thought you wish would just go away? Our minds will always be there telling us what it thinks. It's impossible to keep it quiet, but it is possible to only listen to it when we want to. Our brain functioning goes clear back to caveman and cavewoman times. One of its key functions was, and still is today, survival. One of its main jobs is to keep us alive and make sure our body is working how it should be. It is constantly looking for what's wrong or what could be better. Maybe back then, it was a saber-toothed tiger that the brain was jibber-jabbering about. And now, in this decade, it's telling you to look both ways before you cross the street. This talking from the brain is just in our instincts, some would say. It's there to help you survive and thrive if you use it right. So give thanks to your mind. It has gotten you this far in life. Or did it? Take your hand and put it on your chin, just like this. After all the stuff we talked about, do this with me and go, something to think about. Let's take it one step further. Are you your emotions? I hope by now you're following the pattern we're going with. No, you are not your emotions. The emotions are just a part of you and your experience here in life. You, the I am, the one who feels them and experiences them. Why is it, then, we all as human beings can feel these emotions? Take a second to step back and truly think about this. Every single human being is capable of feeling sad, happy, excited, angry, scared. Why is it that we can all feel them? I think it's amazing what God has done. We all share the same emotions and can feel them anytime. How could we be the emotion if everybody else can feel the same emotions as we do? We don't own the emotions. The emotion is what we feel inside and tend to focus on sometimes. It's an experience of its own based on our reality. We laugh, we cry, our hearts hurt when something bad happens, or they race when we're scared. We get goosebumps or butterflies when we first fall in love. Why does this happen? And where does it come from? You don't purposely or consciously do this, do you? They just come up. Your emotions just come up. To show you, let's do something together. It'll be fun and it's really quick. So stand up if you're sitting and you're able. But if you want, you can do this sitting. It just won't be as much fun. So take one of your hands just like this, just like I'm holding mine. Now hold up the other in the air just like this, okay? Now, on the count of 3, I want you to jump in the air and high five the other hand. So are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes. I hope you did the exercise because it's so fun. Now out loud, say your name and say, you can do this. Awesome. Great job. Now take a deep breath, and if you want, sit back down. What the heck just happened? What did you feel in those moments? I hope you felt a touch of excitement, uncertainty, fun, or maybe some happiness. Are you smiling right now? Do you feel different at all? How's your heart? How's your energy? What we just did together was trigger an emotion inside of you. And my friends, you can do this anytime. That's the beauty of it. I can guarantee you, before we did this little exercise, you weren't feeling how you're feeling right now. And if you noticed, you didn't purposely make yourself feel these emotions. These emotions, they just came up. Emotions are just a part of you. They are not you. I can't say this enough. How beautiful. We don't own our emotions. We are the ones who get to experience them. And at any given moment, we have the power to call them out and feel them. This is so important in the healing journey after loss. Because just like thoughts, Sometimes we become addicted to our emotions, and they make us sick. We get so used to thinking the same thoughts and feeling the same emotions over and over again. Before long, it feels like they are our identity. We are the thoughts we're thinking, and we are the emotions we're feeling. No. And what causes us the most problems in our lives when emotions come up, the good ones or the bad ones, it's when we tend to either cling to them or we push them away. Instead of choosing to simply just experience them as they come up in the moments and then let them go, we decide to hold on to them, or we don't want to feel them at all. We avoid them. When certain emotions come up, we choose to either push them away somewhere deep inside of us, trap them, shut them off, or just not feel them at all. Or on the other side, we find satisfaction in feeling a certain emotion and we hold on to it, taking it into our future moments. We then become addicted to it and do everything in our life possible to try to feel it. For instance, we may choose to avoid feeling the emotions of love, or the opposite. We enjoy feeling the feeling of love so much, we crave it and we cling on to it. We do everything possible to avoid feeling it, or we do everything possible to feel it. We also do this when we get used to feeling a certain kind of emotion. We get stuck in it. Kind of like with our suffering, pain, and anger. We feel stuck. When we do either of these things with these emotions, pushing them away or clinging on to them, that's when our present becomes muddied with our past. To be and remain present and free from problems, we must remember we are not the emotion, and our job is just to simply feel them as they come up and then let them go. We should never cling to an emotion or push one away. We are the experiencer, the doer, the thinker, and the feeler. What we think and feel becomes our reality. For example, there is a deeper truth to saying, I am feeling happy, compared to I am happy. When we say I am happy, we are saying that I am is happy. But this is not the truth. The I am is not happy. That is an emotion. The I am is you. The truth is, the I am is feeling the happiness. The I am is feeling this emotion. When we identify with an emotion, it can leave us trapped or even limit us. Like I said, it muddies our present. When we say I am sad rather than I am feeling sad, it labels us as sad, giving us no chance to help ourselves. You are not sad. You are just the one that is feeling the sad emotion. You are not the sad emotion. When we say I am feeling sad instead, it gives us breathing room. And we can then ask a different question like, what can I do to stop feeling this sadness? Why am I feeling this sadness? Emotions are like the orchestra of life. They give noise, feeling, and vibration to our lives. What if we lived life without emotions? What do you think it would be like? They give life to our lives. Emotions are the spice of life. They make the events in our lives more heartfelt and memorable. I bet there's not a single person on this planet that does not have one favorite or worst memory. The emotions and the intensity of them tied to these events are what makes them so distinct. Emotions give life to our bones and melodies to our lives. So in conclusion, I hope we can all feel better, agree, and begin to understand we are the I ams, the souls who use the body, the mind, the thoughts, and emotions to live our lives. We were given these tools as gifts to make our reality. They are a part of us for a reason. We are the I ams who get to choose how we use and move our bodies. We are the I ams who get to choose how we use our minds. We are the I ams who get to choose to think of empowering thoughts that serve us and limit disempowering thoughts that hurt us. We are the I ams that get to give meaning to our lives and our experiences. We are the I ams who get to feel the emotions as they come up. More importantly, we are the unique souls that get to choose how we act, see, and feel our realities when life unfolds in front of us. We have the opportunity every second to purposely trade emotions like shame, guilt, anger, sadness, worry, and anxiousness for love, joy, peace, excitement, and passion. We have the ability to train our bodies and minds to feel those instead. The scientists always like to say, neurons that fire together, wire together. Our weaknesses can actually be transformed into our strengths. You are so beautiful, and please remember, you are never alone. We are more alike than we are different. Give yourself the grace and give yourself the choice to use your mind, body, and soul to their fullest potentials. I know it's in you. When your mind says, I can't heal, say, no mind, we can heal. We can do this, and we will do this. The thoughts we think and the feelings we feel become our experience. What we choose is our reality. What is your choice? If you're feeling up to it, I challenge you to take a day of silence to observe yourself. What this means is for a whole day you do not talk. You just use the time to watch yourself as well as whatever is happening in front of you. By doing this, you'll be able to see, hear, and feel yourself and your life at a whole new and deeper level. Your naturalness and habits will be exposed. It will give you a chance to observe your rawness as a human being. You will have the opportunity to observe others around you, your thoughts, your emotions, your triggers, strengths, and weaknesses. You might even gain insights, answers, and healing. A day of silence requires self-control, discipline, patience, and openness. A day of silence might even make you say the old saying, I was blind, but now I see. It's just a fun challenge if you're up to it. And if you're really serious about it, I think they sell button pins on the internet that you can pin on your shirt that say, taking a day of silence. That way, people can kindly get your memo. We're all innocent beings trying to do what's best in this funny thing called life. I truly commend you for that. We are all students, so to speak, of life, trying to figure it all out. Don't expect to get it all right on the first time or all at once. Soon, if you haven't already realized it, life is a never-ending celebration of love and learning. I hope you've enjoyed our time together today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And please don't forget to take time during your special day to high-five yourself. You can do it. See you soon.